Hi, Jim Van Zant, one of the pastors here at Carlisle United Methodist Church with Sermon in 3 Minutes. Thanks for tuning in. We've been doing a sermon series called #Struggles, Following Jesus in a Selfie-Centered World. It's based on the book by Reverend Craig Groeschel by the same title, looking at some of the unintended consequences that we all suffer from a culture that is so social media driven these days. And this week's topic was authenticity, how to be real. You know, I learned this week all about filters, and I'm not talking about coffee filters or furnace filters or oil filters. I'm talking about the kind of filters that you can put on your selfie pictures, the photographs that people take with their phones now. You can do all kinds of wonderful things to them to the point that they make you look better than you really look. And I understand a lot of people then put these touched up photographs on the web because they're so afraid of what people might say if we really saw the real them. And that's part of the problem these days. We can change our profiles to make us look and seem like anybody we want to be, except our true selves. The difficulty with that, as you can imagine, is manifold. You can only imagine what happens to your own self-esteem if you just learn to live a lie year after year after year. You become disconnected with your own self and disconnected with anything else around you that you don't even know what's real and what isn't anymore. That does not do any compliments to God, our Creator. The greatest glory that God gets is when we are our very selves, our true selves. That's when we have that true sense of connection to who we are, that true sense of joy and satisfaction, and all those wonderful things of life, including our relationship with God, when we can be real with God, with ourselves, and with other people. The only antidote I know to get us away from trying to hide ourselves is to do something in our lives to take away the fear, because that's the base problem here. We're afraid people are going to reject us if they really knew who we really were in our lives. And the only way to get rid of that is to become closer to Jesus. Here's what I mean. We immerse ourselves with Jesus, get closer to Jesus, delve into Jesus, begin living the way Jesus wants us to live. Soon the fear of what other people think will diminish. It will go to the background in our lives. We'll no longer occupy the front places in our brains, but we'll go to the background. We'll become more in love with Jesus and living the way that Jesus wants us to love, that we absolutely won't care what other people think. And that's when we become our true selves. So this week, why don't you think about the ways that you can follow the way of Jesus in some kind of way, be compassionate, empathetic, kind, gentle, loving, peaceful, any of those kinds of things. And I guarantee you, the longer you are that way, the less you're going to be concerned with what other people think of you, and the more likely you are to enjoy the life God has breathed into you. Thanks for tuning in to Sermon in 3 Minutes.